Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my brand new office. Now today's video is a special one because just this week I received a package which has got that brand new Shimano Deore 12-speed mountain bike group set. Over the past couple of years we've seen the XTR, the XT and the SLX be launched. But this is their entry-level mountain bike group set. We're going to unbox, we're going to talk through the specifications and then get into those nitty-gritty details. Let's get this started. Whoa, that is super nice. Brakes in that Shimano blue that we've all become really accustomed to. Crank set, got a seat post lever, got the cassette right there, got the Mac, the shifter, finally the chain, and we can get rid of this box. We can get into unboxing this stuff. So let's start by the cassette because the thing is right in front of me here. Check out its packaging. We can take a look at that. I think first of all what we'll do, we'll just lay it out in a nice fashion so we can have a good look at it. There's all the bits of the cassette right there. Push that to there. Chain there, we've got the shifter, we've got that Mac, got the seat post lever, some instructions. Those two we can put to the side. The disc brake set. Whoa, that is pretty cool. First of all, there's a caliper right here. And then we can get the lever out. Cool. We can get rid of this box too. We'll put this to the side for now because we've got one brake lever. And then we can finally get on to the front chain wheel, as they say. And this is an FC M6120 1x. Open it up. There's a left-hand crank. There's a cool graphic on that crank arm. And then we can pull out the main part of the chain set. What we've got in here, we've got some spacers. And open these up too. Got the end cap that everyone is familiar with if you're used to Shimano parts. And then some spacers. So there we go then. Here is the brand new 12-speed Deore mountain bike group set. And I have to say, it looks pretty awesome. Let's arrange it all, get a couple of shots of it, show you what it's like, and then we can start talking about the specifications of it. The first impression of this, just looking over it, it looks absolutely incredible. So let's get into some of the specifications and actually have a closer look at the stuff. First of all, we're going to grab that chain set. So you can actually see that it looks very similar to the rest of the 12-speed range. These cranks come in 170 or 175 millimeter in length. You've got that direct mount chainring that you can change super easy right there. Chainring availabilities are a 30 tooth or a 32 tooth. And if we actually grab the left-hand crank, you can actually see that it resembles that same Shimano look that we're very used to. You've got the two pinch bolts right there, and it is looking really nice. It's all finished off by, of course, a little lock nut. Thread that into the other side of the crank, tighten it up, do those pinch bolts up. The crank set is fitted. We're gonna move on and we're gonna have a look at that cassette now. The cassette, if we bring all the pieces in, well, the cassette is actually made from steel. It's very robust. It's quite weighty when you compare it to sort of the XTR or something like that, but it is nicely engineered. 51 tooth right here, and then all the way down to 10 tooth, giving you a huge range, meaning that you can basically climb up absolutely anything, which is super cool. So let's put that to the side again, just rearrange that nicely. Lock ring goes up at the top. We can grab in the chain. The chain, well, 12-speed chain, you can use this on any of the group sets, which is pretty handy to know, especially if you want to take a spare with you on holiday. You can now use a Deore with the XTR or any other group set. It features Hyperglide, so you're going to get super smooth shifting all the way through the gears, even if you're putting a little bit of pressure on when you're climbing. And then let's move on to this half of the table. First of all, I'm going to grab that new Deore Mech, and having a look at it, it looks absolutely awesome. Very similar to the XT and the XTR and even the SLX. You've got those massive 13-tooth jockey wheels both at the top and the bottom to ensure that you've got super smooth shifting consistently right throughout the cassette. You've also got that clutch that Shimano is really famous for. Turning it off, it's open, and then putting it on, well, it's a lot harder to pull apart, and that's gonna make your bike super silent, which is awesome. That's something that I do really, really like. Super impressed by that mech. Putting it back, we can move onto the shifter. I have to say again, I'm really impressed by it. A lot of similarities are shared. Having a look at the actual shifter itself, you've got these little sort of grooves in the plastic to make shifting easier, especially if it's wet. You're not just going to slide off it. You've also got that iSpec EV, meaning that you've got 14 millimeters of lateral movement, and you can also adjust it rotationally to get the cockpit dialed in perfectly for you. This will become a little clearer when we actually grab that brake lever. So if we just pull that in, there you go, the new Shimano Deore brake lever. It's absolutely stunning. Looks again very similar to the rest of the 12-speed Shimano mountain bike group sets. You've also got that new contact point right there to ensure that there's no flex in the brake lever. And this is how the iSpec EV works. So you mount it up like this, sits just there, you move it side to side, and then you move it rotationally. Look at that. So you can really get it dialed in, so you're not gonna miss a shift again. So we put that to the side. Okay, next we're gonna grab the dropper post lever, and that feels really nice to activate. You've got the iSpec EV. It's just a really nice finishing touch. And finally, if we take a look at the brake caliper, the brake calipers are available in two options. Here in front of me, I've got the 4-piston version. You can also get it in a 2-piston. The pads are available as either metal or resin. The 4-piston is always going to give you a lot more power if you're riding enduro or downhill, and then the 2-piston is probably more suited towards trail and cross country. And now, having had a first look at all the components, I have to say that I am super impressed by the group set. Shimano's engineers have done a great job of taking a lot of the technology that they've learned from the other 12-speed group sets and putting it into a more affordable package. And another thing that is really neat is that it's cross-compatible with any other Shimano mountain bike group set that's 12 speed. So you could run a cassette of the Deore group set with, say, an XTR mech and shifter, or you could have the Deore cassette with an XT mech and shifter and crankset. So you can really customize that group set depending on your budget. Well, for this next portion of the video, I thought we'd get a little bit more nerdy. I'm gonna get my scales out right here. Let's turn these on. I'm gonna weigh in each component, and you actually get a good idea of what the group set might weigh overall. So let's start with the cassette. Part 1 on, part 2. And the weight of that is 592.6 grams. Okay, so let's put that over here. Grab the chain now. The chain weighs in at 275.3. And then we've got the left-hand crank arm. We've got these bits right here. That's 292. 506.6. I have to say that I am pretty impressed by the weight of that chain set. Got the shifter right here, 113.2. Let's grab the mech. The mech weighs in at 319.9 grams. The dropper post lever, well, that weighs in at 39.2. Basically nothing when you put that on the bike. Brake lever, 123.4. And then the caliper and the hose, that's 194.8. So a little bit of addition. Okay, so I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think the weight of the group set should be 2,457.2 grams, which I think is pretty awesome. And one thing that stood out to me when we were weighing the entire thing was just how light that crankset was. Now let's get onto the really nitty-gritty details of what makes this group set so good and so special. So let's first of all grab that chain. The chain features Hyperglide technology. Hyperglide basically means that it's going to shift consistently through the entire range. Okay, we can put the chain down, we're going to grab the chain set. The chain set actually features dynamic chain engagement. Dynamic chain engagement basically describes the fact that it's a narrow wide tooth chain ring. It is going to shift again really smooth right through the range, and you pair that with the fact that the cassette has got Hyperglide Plus. So we can actually just have a look at the cassette, and again, that's just describing how it's going to shift right through. Well, we can just put that to the side now because I think that we have pretty thoroughly gone through that Shimano Deore mountain bike group set, and I have to say, I'm super impressed by it. First look of it, the components look really, really good, but what that means is that now we have got a bike build to do. And waiting for me in the workshop is a Scotspark frame that we're going to mount this Deore group set onto. We're going to have a proper good look at it there. We're going to see how it comes together, and I am super excited for that. The group set should be available in the shops as of June. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumb up, like, leave your comments down below. Any questions, please feel free to ask them. Turn the bell on so you don't miss the bike build, and I'll see you guys real soon, and then we'll be going riding.